Welcome to the Power of Offense with Keith and Rodney. And today we have another hot show for y'all, and we're going to discuss Biden's historic Supreme Court nomination. Yes, we're going to discuss that, where President Joe Biden has decided that he wanted to honor his campaign promise to nominate the first Black female justice in American history. Now, I'm going to play this clip from Joe Biden. And I want to play this clip because Rodney and I can assure you that Joe Biden is in violation of federal law. Yes, he is. So here we go. Fair use, fair use.
Worthy of justice requires legacy, excellence, and decency. While I've been studying candidates' backgrounds and writings, I've made no decision except one. The person I will nominate will be someone with extraordinary qualifications, character, experience, and integrity. And that person will be the first Black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court.
Now, in my opinion, Joe Biden did well until he said, and that person will be the first Black woman, See, when he said that, that's when he violated federal law.
Absolutely.
Now, why is Rodney and I saying this? Now, we're saying this, right, because, we're looking at the 1964 Civil Rights Act. We're talking about employer practices, right? And it says that it should be unlawful employment practice for an employer, right, to fail or refuse to hire someone, right, based upon their race. See, when he narrowed it down to just Black women, arguably other groups of people who aren't a Black woman can say that he's refusing, right, to even say that we qualify, right, because of our race or our gender, etc. Because you can't use sex and you can't use race, and he just used sex and race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They could also say that he limited, or basically you can't classify your employees' employment in any which way to deprive or attempt to deprive them of employment based upon their race. And he did that. I mean, you could use one or two of this.
A white woman can smash him on that drink.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Indeed.
A Spanish woman could smash him on that joint. Any other type of woman could smash him on that. Yeah. Even a Black man. Yep. You know what I'm saying? A white man could do it, but he'll have a hard time. But anybody other than a Black woman can actually sue under the rules of this act because of what he said out of his mouth.
Absolutely.
All he had to do is say we're gonna have the best qualified person and just put a Black person up that jump. But don't go on that jump. He tried to score brownie points. He do nothing else for Black folks.
Exactly. Exactly, right.
So
it was a political move.
All he really doing is putting a Black face there. I'm not even gonna get that deep, but yeah. So he broke all the other promises. They ain't do nothing with reparations, nothing that he promised. But he gonna put somebody up there that looks like us and is a woman. But in my opinion, it would have to be seen whether or not that person will actually, I guess. I don't want to say rule in our favor without just cause, but in order to use the law in the advantage that it was in place for us to prosper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not going to count anyway because it's still a 6-3 minority, but at least you'll have somebody there that, that's willing to take that stance. So we'll see.
I mean, my thing is, Rodney, it's clear discrimination. And like you said, anybody could bring a suit against the White House over this. They can. You know what I'm saying? They could petition this in the federal court. I think someone is. If I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn I seen something, a article that said that there is a petition. And it makes sense because to me, and I expect more out of Joe Biden. I do. To me, he's not that bright, but I would have thought that he's more intelligent, where he would have just said everything he said before, and he could have left that out, and he could have just selected, various people. I wouldn't have did all Black women, but I'd had some white men, Black men, all of that. But I would have picked a Black woman because that was my agenda. That's all he had to do. Yeah, it was foolish what he did, but I gotta say this, especially with me being a registered Republican. I gotta say this though, Rodney. The Republican Party set this bad precedence anyway. They did. When Ronald Reagan came out in the public and said that his goal was to replace, I forgot what justices was, with a woman, that was the same thing. That was still a violation of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, because you're picking her based upon sex, which means you're not picking others because they don't fit their sex.
Right.
So the bad precedence was set by the Republicans. And then Trump did the same thing when he was in office. So I'm like, two Republican presidents set bad precedent. So to some degree, it's like, how can you really get mad at Joe Biden? The only thing he did different was he inserted race. You know? He just followed the precedent though.
Is that it's still discriminatory employment practices, no matter which way you look at it.
Absolutely.
So have he choose to do it. But I bet you one thing, whoever he put on the bench, just like whoever Trump put on the bench and whoever Ronald Reagan put on the bench, followed the same ideology. Yeah. So the ideology that's going to be placed on the bench is going to be of the same who appointed. So,
I say this though, Rodney. Honestly, it shouldn't be that much divide within the opinions of the justices anyways, because the judicial branch is independent of politics. They're independent and separate. That's not a political, not supposed to be. It's not a political branch of government. They only supposed to be interpreting the law. So it shouldn't be that broad of a dissent. It's like the dissent shouldn't be that off from what the majority opinion is really where I'm getting at.
Yeah, I doubt they give the person a real hard. Well, I think I read an article that a few of the other side likes the lady from South Carolina.
Yeah, so, I saw that too.
A lot of people, I think, like her.
Lindsey Graham is one of them.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham. Yeah, he was one, and then the Joker in West Virginia like her, and somebody else said that they like her. But the point is, the Republican can punt on this one because they know it doesn't change the power balance of the court. Now, if this was something that would deal with the power of the court, these jokes would be going crazy.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, if you don't believe that, you don't understand the system of racism and white supremacy. Period. They know deep down they can bark and just to do the show and pony. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it does nothing to do with the balance of power on the Supreme Court. So at the end of the day, they can just say, you know what, let them have it, because it's still 6-3.
Right.
Look at the scoreboard. That's all they're gonna say. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely. So y'all, drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what y'all think. You know what I mean? Did Joe Biden violate federal law right before our eyes?
Once again, he did it with the little mask mandate. He did it. Yeah.
Exactly.
See if he did it again.
But all right, y'all. Peace.
All right. Peace out.